Bitcoin continues to trade sideways here, but I'm starting to get the feeling that this may just in fact be the final consolidation point before one of the largest, most explosive moves of the entire year. In my opinion, Bitcoin is squeezing to the end of this formation, a formation which has been forming now over the past several months. And as we should all know by now, the larger the formation, the larger the breakout tends to be in whichever direction it does wind up breaking. And right now, I'm also starting to see somewhat of a rare pattern forming here in the chart right now. And this is what I'd like to discuss with you all here today. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. What is going on, my friends? Today I'd like to discuss Bitcoin, and I really want to examine here this macro structure, this whole pennant or descending triangle pattern, along with the intraday charts here, and look at this consolidation that we're in right now. I really think that there's not that much room left here, ladies and gentlemen, and push is going to have to come to shove at some point. And personally, you should all know by now that Don Carbonaccio is looking to be on the correct side of this trade, not the wrong one, because when potentially life-changing trading opportunity does in fact present itself, I like to be on the right side of the trade, not the wrong one. So right now, as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. All right, so we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice, this is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and speculative hypotheses on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. That being said, let's begin right here on the 4-hour time frame. We can see this purple box here for me, ladies and gentlemen, is the points of equilibrium. Bitcoin has done the majority of its trading inside this purple box here, really since we started breaking down from our blow off top near 14,000. There's just been so much trading action within this range, and the rest of it really has been either parabolic up with a retrace down into it, or a drop below and an immediate magnet pull right back into it. You could see this, right? And really now, over the past several weeks, we've really only deviated outside of this box 3 times. I mean, it was very, very briefly. Besides that, the action has been all within this range. And right now, the thing that's very interesting to me here is the fact that we did put in a double top, okay? We had a little fake out here. The Moon Boys got all exuberant. It's a new higher high, Kirby, a new higher high. We're going to the moon. They got wrecked, okay? They longed resistance. Like scrubs, they longed resistance and they got wrecked, and we get pulled right back here down into the equilibrium zone. But what makes this very interesting for me, ladies and gentlemen, I was pointing this out. So we did double top, failing to create a real new higher high, right? We also see here on the daily RSI that we are in what appears to me right now, what appears to Don Carbonaccio to be a bearish divergence, okay? We see that the buy pressure was increasing on the RSI, but then when we look at the chart here, the price action did not eclipse the prior high, so more buy pressure only took the price action to the same price points. Not good in my opinion. And here as well, you could see we may also now be in a tentative rising wedge formation on the RSI and the daily, which is also inherently a bearish pattern if it breaks down below the trend line. Let's get this crypto. So for me right now, we still are bearishly diverging here, ladies and gentlemen, on the daily time frame. And what I want to point out here is what could happen. And by this, I mean if we continue to rise here, okay? What we have to pay attention to is this red box, because now we've not only seen that this could have acted as resistance in the past, right, where we had all of this historic price action, support and resistance flips all along the way, and now we did get it confirmed here once and confirmed here twice, okay? Now, if we are to retest and run back up to this region, we have to understand that if this breaks through, it could get very bullish. If this does get rejected here, again, right around 11,000, 10,900 to 11,000 roughly. If we get rejected there again, ladies and gentlemen, the thing here is that we are looking at what could be a rare triple top, okay? Now, triple tops are unique because you generally don't get them. It's either usually a double top and a rejection, and that's where the trend truly reverses, or you get the double top like we have now, and then upon retesting it again, you would look to see it break through, okay? So if we don't break through and we actually get rejected here again, ladies and gentlemen, this would be one of the most bearish confirmations possible, in my opinion, as a triple top is not very standard. You don't see them all too often because, like I was just stating, when you get the double top and you break down, okay, and then you come back up again, this shows extreme strength in the bulls, and the fact that a double top isn't even scaring them away, right? And when you get that retest back up, a large majority of the time, the bulls can push through, okay? But if you get rejected at this point, and that's why it's important to await confirmations as a trader, because you don't know what's going to happen until you see it happen, right? So if we get rejected here, and this does in fact become a triple top, for me, that is an incredibly bearish situation to be in here, ladies and gentlemen, because we still would yet to eclipse this real swing high here, right? So we couldn't break this one, and we wound up triple topping then, if that happens, right? We never broke this one. We still are on a downward sloping trajectory here. And we have so many touch points along this bottom line of resistance, and as you should all know by now, per classical technical analysis theory, the more times that you test a level, the more times, or excuse me, the larger the probability becomes to break through that region. Just the same like up here with the tentative triple top, right? That's what I was just pointing out for you. If we test it a third time, the probability increases for the bulls to rip through it. Just like here on the bottom, the more times that you test this support, the more likely the probability becomes that it may just happen to give way and we break through the trap door and take a dive deep down into the crypto abyss. So for me right now, we are tentatively awaiting for this triple top to occur. Does it have to? Absolutely not. You could see here that we have this. This is resistance all along the top of this box here around 10,500. I also have this red line drawn here just under that zone around 10,700. This whole range for me here, ladies and gentlemen, we are in resistance right now. Fair game for me at any point in time to potentially collapse down to retest this support. But if the bulls are still showing momentum here, we're going to need to see it retest this region here around 11,000. And like I stated earlier, I'm going to be awaiting confirmation here. If we break to a new high, okay, this would be something of significance. Right now, I am speculating to the short side. Shout out to my VIPs. You guys know right now, I have already speculated a little bit short. I'm looking right now for more opportunities to potentially short this until I see that we eclipse this region. If we eclipse this region, then my short strategy will change, okay? I just want you to be all well aware right now that per my analysis and in my opinion, for me right now, I see that the trend has not confirmed anything bullish to me at this point in time, and that my bias here still weighs towards the downside based off of the action, the formation, and the indicators that I'm seeing here in the chart. Let's get this crypto. Right? I'm not just taking a hunch here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you know, I think it's going down. That's not right. As a trader, I have to play the chart, right? And for me right now, with the way that the chart is structured, the trend still, in my opinion, seems to be in bearish control. And again, that can change upon taking this out right here, okay? And my analysis will change with it as well, as you cannot be stubborn. If things go against your hypothesis, you adjust, you adapt, and you strategize, you re-strategize and restructure your plays to crush the market and get this crypto. And like I stated, ladies and gentlemen, I've been shouting out to my VIPs on where I've been entering my shorts, where I'm setting up my ladders, my strategy, etc. So if you would like to see all of my trades in real time as I take them and set up my plays, you can get that from me in VIP. So I will see you all in VIP right after this video. Let's get this crypto. Now, something else to keep in mind here with the RSI as well, ladies and gentlemen, like I pointed out, this is a bearish divergence, right? As we see that the same price point was hit, right? So the price point is a flat line, okay, because we double topped, right? But the RSI here is going upwards, which is more buy pressure for the same price action. Now, if we are to get this price back to a triple top here, okay, this price booms back up to this box around 11,000. From the way it looks right now, this is just pure speculation, but it does look again, ladies and gentlemen, like we could actually get higher again, thus increasing the bearish divergence, because we are already so close to this prior high here on the RSI, right? That for it to move up that significantly right now may bring the RSI even higher than this peak here, which is at a roughly about 55. And if we get higher than a 55, yet we only get back to the same price point, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, it just further increases that bearish divergence for me there. Let's get this crypto. Now, briefly, other things to consider here as well. Let's see, where should we go from here? Well, let's go to the moving averages. I want you to keep this on your radar as well. Bitcoin right now on the 1-day time frame, we could see that the 50 and the 100-day moving averages, we're right at them right now. Will they act as resistance? We're going to have to wait and see, but we are at them right now. One other thing to keep on your radar here is that we haven't seen a cross, a bearish cross, meaning that this 50, the orange line, crosses that green 100. We haven't seen a bearish cross like this since all the way back here, ladies and gentlemen, before we capitulated down to 3,000. And right now, we are on the brink of seeing these cross here for the first time. Any more bearish action on the daily time frame for Bitcoin would likely cross this 50 below the green 100, and that is something that you really need to keep on your radar, as that would be a structural change, something we haven't seen really since 2018 at this point, and should not be taken lightly, in my opinion, as it could be more sentiment towards the bearish momentum here. Let's get this crypto. Then, well, let's talk about this here as well, guys. The Google trend data. Worldwide data, past 5 years, search term Bitcoin, okay? We have to understand here that the trend data has been on a higher high and higher low trajectory until our peak there in late June. Now we are still swinging low. We have not had another swing high, just like the price chart, okay? We have not had another true macro swing high since June 26th. And right now, Bitcoin is flirting with making a lower low here, ladies and gentlemen. The data closes, let's see, the data closes tomorrow, okay? Right now, the last prior low was an 11. The current incomplete data right now is a 10. We have 1 day left. Is this data going to close at a 10, which would be a new lower low and a structural change to the market? Very, very possible. And if this does occur, it's just, again, another piece of sentiment towards the bears that has to be taken into consideration, in my opinion. Also here, crypto fear and greed index, we can see still on a lower high trajectory. And right now, this cluster does look like it's beginning to roll over here. Can this change and shoot to the upside? Absolutely. But right now, it looks like there's more bullish exhaustion here, and the bears are reclaiming control here, and that we may be ready to see this roll over and potentially continue that lower low trajectory there as well. Let's get this crypto. For me right now, ladies and gentlemen, the altcoin market is very, what's the way to put this? It's a very unique situation in the sense that Bitcoin dominance just continues to rise here. Again, over a 70%, ladies and gentlemen. For me right now, the focus just remains here on Bitcoin. I actually want to go over to the altcoin chart right now, and I just want you to all be well aware, okay, that we still, let's remove this 100-day, the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average, they death crossed just several weeks ago, ladies and gentlemen. We saw this death cross here, and the price action really has not done anything since we death crossed, okay? But right now, in my opinion, we still are trading under this bearish box here, which may act as new resistance. It has been for the time being. We've seen a death cross here. We did not hold this support at the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement, which then in and of itself suggests that the next target zone to be hit and tested is the 0.786 Fibonacci retracement, which we have not hit yet. And we are just holding above my last and final box of support here, which is just right above the 0.786. So for me, ladies and gentlemen, it would not be far-fetched here to see that there's a possibility that the altcoin market does take a test down to that fib level. And if so, you can see, per my chart here, this looks to be roughly a 15% move to the downside. If that is in fact to occur, is this going to drag Bitcoin down with it? That will have to be seen. We don't know how that's going to react. No one does. No one has a crystal ball to tell you exactly how that's going to play out, okay? But the fact of the matter is here is I see that the chart right now is skating on thin ice here. And for me right now, with all of the bearish factors here, it would not surprise me at all to potentially see a test down to this level. Again, does it have to? Absolutely not. Maybe we form a rounding bottom here, break through that 0.618, which has acted as resistance now, and then look to make it support and boom higher. Sure, it's a possibility. But again, with all of the factors here, especially on Bitcoin, looking very bearish to me right now, on the brink of collapse. The Google trend data here, tentatively looking to make a new lower low. The crypto fear and greed index not being able to make a higher high and looking like it may be ready to roll over now. All of these things taken into consideration, I do have to leave the possibility open here that this market may be ready for another move to the downside. And again, this should not scare you. This should not be something that you're worried about. If you're a trader, downside action is just potentially as lucrative as upside action. If you're shorting the market, this should be no problem for you, right? Just on the same, if you're longing it, you have to eventually, right, get in a position to hope that the market goes up and it can blow up in your face, just the same as you shorting can blow up in your face if it goes up. Trading is a risky game, ladies and gentlemen, but the way that you get a perceived edge in these markets is that you look for the high reward, low risk trade setups, right? And for me, right now, I am identifying these across these charts right now, as I showed you with Bitcoin. For me, I see that we are tentatively reaching the end of this structure, ladies and gentlemen. And if this does give way here, grandma's cookies and a bottle of yo-ho-ho. You guys should know, for me right now, the target zone for me here, tentative speculative target zone, is this teal box, really around the 8,500 mark, the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement mark here, this cluster, right, where old support, or excuse me, old resistance may look to act now as new support. We also have our 200-day moving average going right into this area, okay? If we are to drop, this zone has a lot of confluence for me, and I really like that area for me personally as somewhere where I may look to take profits on shorts if they work out for me, and potentially maybe try and get into a long position as well if it looks like the bulls take momentum and control at that time. Let's get this crypto. So guys, right now, the sideways movement should not be something that's making you uneasy. I know it is for many. They really don't like this action. We've grown so accustomed to seeing the market rip up and down in these crocodile tooth formations that when we finally just do wind up consolidating here, many tend to forget about the market. They get lazy. They get a little, what's the way to put it? A little reckless at times, where they start to try and over leverage, or they start to use way more of their capital for a trade than they should because they're looking for more profit off less movement. That is very irresponsible, ladies and gentlemen. You want to keep a level head here. You don't want to be becoming a victim here of this little chop zone, because there's liquidation hunter bots. There's just a lot of problems that you can run into, okay? And just to prepare you for what I feel may be looming right around the corner, if you weren't in the market at this point, you wouldn't remember this, but if you are, shout out to you, because this point here, ladies and gentlemen, looks very similar, where we had a ton of large action, right? Blow off top, large action over and over and over and over. And then we had 68 days of pretty much the action that we're seeing now, 68 days of nothing. Okay? And what wound up happening here is that all the Moon Boys cried to Don Carbonaccio over and over again. And what wound up happening is that I kept preparing here for what I thought was going to be a large movement to the downside. I kept my cool, stayed cool, calm, and collected, and I wound up sticking in shorts on Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum, all up in this region, ladies and gentlemen. And then what do you know? Ding, 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 chicken wings for dinner, tofu if you're vegan. The market capitulated, and Don was on the correct side of the trade. Let's get this crypto. I know my VIPs remember that. It was an absolutely epic time. And for those that kept their head calm and cool, those were the ones that prospered. While everybody else in here, this is the bottom, Kirby. It's life-changing technology. You. And they all got wrecked, and they don't even trade in the market anymore. It's just how it goes, okay? So for me right now, ladies and gentlemen, that is very reminiscent to me of what I'm seeing here, and that historically has led to immense breakouts or breakdowns, historically. Past performance is not indicative of future results, but for me right now, I am seeing that this action may be very explosive here very, very soon, and I am looking to be on the best side of that trade to the best of my ability, and I am strategizing each and every day for this. And like I said, I keep you updated in VIP with all of my trades around the clock. As I strategize to crush the market, I keep you updated. As I formulate my strategy, I post it for you. As I take my trades, I post it for you. As I take my profits, I post it for you. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, today is the day. Are you going to take that trip to Wrecked City with Average Joe and James at the water cooler? Or is today the day that you transform yourself from Average Joe into Savage Joe? Let's get this crypto. I will see you in VIP right now. All right, my friends? So today was a little bit more of a serious video. I hope that you hear it by the sound of my voice that I believe this is coming, ladies and gentlemen. And I hate to see many people get wrecked here, because when potentially life-changing trading opportunity arises, I like to be on the right side of it. I planned to the best of my ability to be on the right side of it. I hope you are as well. Like I said, I'm going to keep you updated with my strategy here. Right now, I'm salivating at this potential opportunity here, as I see this does, in fact, have the potential, in my opinion, to be the largest move of the year that we've seen thus far after this run-up. Let's get this crypto. So, guys, if you could one last time, moon up the likes, moon them up, smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Satoshi needs a new pair of shoes. I'm getting ready to trade this aggressively right now. I'm going to continue to update my positions here, and I'm going to continue to strategize for if this potentially life-changing trading opportunity plays out how I think it may. I am ready to get this crypto. So guys, I will keep you updated in VIP. I will see you in VIP right now. And until next time, the Don has spoken. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.